Here's what a normal dog does on the weekends. And here's what Brian Griffin does on the weekends. This canine sure gets around, but just how many women has he slept with? Well, I'm going to be going through every single one-night stand and long-term relationship this old mutt has had. Starting with the very first time we see Brian drop some game, if you can call it that, in the episode The Thin White Line. You know, the one where he joins the cops as a drug detection dog for the Devil's Dust.
Yes! All right, we got him! Oh, this is the rush I've been looking for.
Well, he may have started out trying to do what's right, but it's not long before his greatest gift becomes a curse as his nose for drugs leads him to addiction.
Got milk?
And when you're addicted to substances like that, you start hanging out with some seriously shady people. And Brian stupidly makes one of them his girlfriend.
Everybody, this is Tina.
What happened to you?
Hey, how about a little less questions and a little more shut the hell up?
She's not exactly the type of girl you'd want to settle down with, and the rest of the Griffins don't exactly gel well with Tina.
Would you please ask your new friend to leave now?
Oh, sorry. Things getting a little too real for the Stepford wife?
So it looks like the Griffin's couch is a no-go. But Brian is a dog after all, and where do dogs go for a good time?
Come on, baby girl, let's go to the park.
Well, I can't say it'll be good, but it'll be a time, all right. The next time we see Brian high on another woman, it's with Meg's history teacher, Shauna, and the two meet after Peter drags Brian along to a boring PTA meeting.
Wow, that's a lovely color. Your dress is the color of your dress is. I like. You're very pretty.
Thank you. I'm the 11th grade history teacher, Miss Parks.
Oh, like Rosa Parks.
Not exactly Brian's smoothest opening, but it doesn't seem to have done any harm.
Nothing cuter than a nervous white dog.
So, with the spark clearly there, Brian asks Shauna to go on a little date with him, but the nervous pooch starts landing on a bit thick.
I mean, if I could take all the black people in the world and just buy a farm somewhere and let them all, you know what? That actually, that didn't really come out right.
Can you believe this guy? Lying about being an adoption volunteer just to get the girl? I mean, who would do such a thing? Not me. I'm talking about Quagmire. Quagmire does that. Not me, guys. Despite him clearly going over the top, Shauna kind of likes what she sees and decides Brian is the guy for her. They end up getting together, and it looks like Brian has a pretty steady girlfriend. Although it all comes crashing down when Shauna asks Brian to choose between her and Peter.
Look, Brian, Peter is a jerk, and as far as I'm concerned, it's either him or me.
Shauna, come on. Why you want to play a brother like that?
I think I have my answer.
It might have ended in heartbreak, but at least Brian had fun for a little while. Sure, there wasn't anything mentioned about them getting it on, but come on, they were a couple. And it's Brian. I'm sure they had their honeymoon phase. The next time we see Brian score is in the episode Whistle While Your Wife Works, and he's been keeping this new lady friend a secret.
Look, Brian, I think it's wonderful you found a young lady willing to stoop to your level.
When do I get to meet her?
No way.
I get it. She's hideous.
To prove to Stewie that A, this girl is real, and B, she's not ugly, Brian finally gives in and lets him meet who he's been seeing.
Hi, Brian. Oh my God, who's your cute little friend?
Oh my. Hello, Stewie. Charmed.
I'm Jillian. Come on in. Who wants a drink?
Whoa, certainly not ugly. Nice and polite as well. So I wonder why Brian's been keeping her on the down low.
Oh my God, Brian! I was watching something on TV about this guy named Hitler. Somebody should stop him.
Are her parents brother and sister? Can you please leave now?
Now I get it. She's a moron.
Oh, that's why. She's not the sharpest tool in the shed, to say the least, which also means Brian has been able to easily lie about who he really is.
I know Brian's work has him coming and going at all hours of the night.
I bet it does. Okay, well, Stewie has to go now.
For those watching who are maybe a little more on the innocent side, that basically means that he's using her because he can't stand to spend much more time with her than that.
What are you talking about? I want some more of Jillian's delicious lemonade.
I know, it's good, right? I just wish they didn't have to kill so many lemons to make it.
Oh, this is fun, huh?
He even brings her over to meet the family.
I threw up a lot in high school, so I don't get my period anymore.
Wow, this is the one you've been waiting for, huh, Brian? Are you serious?
So he decides he's gonna break things off with her, but when he heads around to hers, it don't go to plan.
What the hell? It took you 3 hours to break up with her?
Not exactly.
Well, what were you doing in there? What's that smell? Smells like sweat and anger and shame.
Yep.
At least he knows he's in the wrong. Now it's time to take a look at when Brian met up with one of his old flames, Tracy, in the episode The Former Life of Brian, because the old dating game hasn't been kind to him.
I paid $800 for all this crap. You have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
And I'm a great guy. I'm unemployed, but that makes her feel useful in the relationship.
I'm gonna fix him.
Our relationship will do fine on that basis.
So I guess he figures if she loved him once, she can love him again.
Brian Griffin, is that you?
Yeah.
And all he wants is to kiss you just one more time.
Wow, you sure look different than the last time I saw you.
Haircut.
So, to get out of here, I just make a left out of the driveway and drive as fast as I can?
So Brian don't think the whole rekindling thing is on the table anymore, but soon he's gonna have bigger fish to fry, cause Tracy has some serious news for him.
I've wanted you to meet Dylan for a long time, Brian.
Well, Brian, a son. How about that?
Sorry to put the horrible image in your mind, but that clearly means that at some point, her and Brian did the deed, so let's chalk that one on the tally. But if you want to know, Brian actually steps up to the plate and forges a nice relationship with Dylan.
Hey, Dylan, have a great day at school.
Thanks, Dad. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
You're there.
I'll always be there, Dylan.
I guess good things can come out of messy relationships. Talking of which, after that whole thing with Jillian, Brian did break things off eventually. But in We Love You, Conrad, he starts realizing he still has feelings for her when the mail comes.
Hey, everybody, look what came in the mail. We got invitations to Jillian's wedding.
Jillian's wedding?
Well, that's great. Looks like she finally found someone after dating that last loser.
Not only is Jillian getting married, Brian isn't even invited. And surprisingly, he's taking it hard.
Brian, I'm filling out my RSVP card, and I don't know whether I should get the salmon or the snossages.
They're having snossages?
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Big deal. I could care less about going to that wedding.
Says the dog who's pouring himself some hard liquor early in the morning. Let's face it, Brian, you still have feelings for her. So what does he do? Go and tell Jillian the truth? You know, to at the very least get things off his chest? No! He just hits the sauce even harder and ends up bumping into a rebound.
You want to take a wizard on my id?
You remind me of my stepdad.
It's not that easy, is it? Am I doing something wrong, you guys? Anyway, Brian wakes up groggy the next morning, but the question is he alone?
Oh, man. What the hell did I do last night?
Good morning.
Oh my God, you're Lauren Conrad.
So she's not just any rebound, she's a celebrity rebound. And when you slept with someone who's in the spotlight, it's not like you can just keep things a secret for long.
Yeah, so Lauren Conrad and Brian Griffin are now a couple. Apparently she gave that dog a bone and he gave it right back.
Like Jillian, though, Brian turns his nose up at yet another woman who's dense and fake. That is, until he realizes Lauren is far from that.
I find Aristophanes' quasi-satirical origin myth regarding the three genders both fantastic and serious.
Yeah, that always cracked me up. So you read a lot, huh?
But when you've got a brain as big as Lauren's, you can see things that others can't, and it doesn't take long for her to figure this out.
This is about you still being in love with Jillian.
How do you know that?
Because I'm smarter than you, Brian.
Oh my God, you're right.
So Brian plucks up the courage and crashes Jillian's wedding.
I love you. Will you please take me back?
Brian, no. You had your chance.
I'm not quite sure why she sounded like Consuelo there, but either way, Brian's heart gets broken again. I suppose that's karma for only using Jillian in the first place. So after a break from the ladies, Brian decides he's gonna wait for the right moment to ask the next girl out. And I guess the right moment is right after Peter crashes into their car.
Well, I guess we're just lucky nobody got hurt.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I sort of have one other problem. Maybe you can help me out.
What's that?
I have a dinner reservation for 2 tonight at Dominic's, and it's just me.
I see your problem. I think I might be able to help.
Ma'am, you want me to kick those dents out for you?
I can't believe that worked. Anyway, Brian gets suited and booted and heads to Nicole's house to pick her up for their date, but she don't answer the door.
Can I help you?
Hi, I'm Brian. I'm here to pick up Nicole.
Oh, hi, I'm Rita, her mom. You must be the one she had that fender bender with.
Dang, is Brian about to be blown off for some other dude? I guess that's why you don't ask girls out right after they've hit their head.
Unfortunately, she left for dinner with another guy about half an hour ago.
What? We had a date.
I'm afraid that's Nicole. She's 21 and gorgeous. Guys ask her out all the time, and I think she loses track.
I guess, though, if you can't get the daughter, you go for the mom, or so I've been told.
Well, at the risk of humiliating myself once again, I still have a reservation.
Well, I don't have plans.
Well, terrific. Hey, maybe I'll get to use this after all, huh? I'm kidding.
I have no words for that, honestly. But despite his rubber flub, Brian does take Rita out to dinner, and you know what? It goes pretty darn well.
I can't remember the last time I've had this much fun dating somebody.
I can remember the last time I have. Never.
That's the writer in you, Brian.
Oh, good heavens, he can't flirt, can he? How does he get so many women? Well, either way, his cheese charm works on Rita, and the two go for a date again a few more weeks in the future until he decides to introduce her to the family. I wonder if they'll care about her age.
How old are you? How old are you?
50! Okay, I'm 50! Happy now!
You people are awful.
That'd be a resounding yes. Brian goes and finds Rita to tell her that he doesn't care about the age gap, and he's gonna prove it to her.
I think you're the most wonderful woman I've ever met. Will you marry me?
What did you just say?
Come on, you're only 50. You heard me. Will you marry me?
Oh, Brian. Yes.
And if they're gonna get married, they're gonna have to get a little more intimate.
Oh!
Was that your boob?
God, no! I think I broke my hip.
Oh my God, what should I do?
Dang, Brian, you broke her hip. I know some men joke about doing it so hard they put a woman in a wheelchair, but like that's first off, that's really insensitive. And second off, I didn't think that it could actually happen. So after the injury, Brian basically has to be Rita's round-the-clock carer. Sure, it's his fault and he's meant to love her, but all it really does is make him realize that maybe the age gap is too much for him.
Oh, I've never noticed this picture before. Is that you when you were a little girl?
That's the summer my family went to D.C.
That, flag's missing some stars there.
He doesn't go as far as smothering her with a pillow, though, but he does decide he needs some time away from Rita, so he hits the bar pretty hard. Hey, that rhymed.
You want to have in the bathroom?
Oh, gosh, what a treat. Yes, I would like that.
As sad as it is, that's another tick on Brian's body count, but I guess the next question is, will he tell Rita or will he keep it a secret?
I met a girl, I had a couple of drinks, and I slept with her.
You what?
Oh, I feel awful. It was a terrible thing to do. I'm so sorry. It'll never happen again.
Brian tries to then rationalize his cheating ways by saying he finally understands that Rita is the woman for him, but she ain't buying it.
You can rationalize it any way you want, but to me, all that shows is that you're an immature guy who doesn't realize what a catch I am. I'm sorry, Brian, but you screwed up. Now, please go.
So Brian's a sleazebag and a cheat. Yeah, no wonder he struggled forever to find a woman. But he's never had a problem sleeping with them. We've just seen him go after an older woman, and it seems Rita was the test ride for someone even older. He then meets them. Where else but at a bar?
I came here to be at the seminar, not run it.
The eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed that the woman you've just seen Brian kiss is actually Quagmire's dad. Having finally come out as her true self, Ida is in Quahog to visit Glenn, and that's when she hooks up with Brian.
You know, we are in a hotel.
So Brian and Ida get down to it. Now, she might not look it, but Ida's way older than Rita was. Quagmire's like 61, so if that's the case, Ida's probably in her late 70s or early 80s. Now, that clearly didn't put him off, but when Stewie tells him about the change and the name change... By the way, that goes on for another 30 seconds. As you can imagine, Glenn won't be happy when he finds out.
You dirty little bastard, you're dead! If I ever see you anywhere near my house, I'll blow your head off! Now lay there and die, you piece of crap!
If you're confused at all about this, here's Brian summing it up.
Hey, I your dad.
Well, after getting the beating of a lifetime, Brian once again goes on a little hiatus from the dating scene and starts picking up the bottle. So much so that he has to start going to AA meetings, and that's where he meets his next fling. I know what you're thinking. Finally, a healthy relationship where Brian's sober. Well, it's more of a one-night stand after Peter turns the AA group into this.
So I clicked on it, and the girl's got a bigger wang than I got.
No way!
So with alcohol back in the mix, Brian wastes no time getting back on the horse, so to speak.
Brian, you ready to go home?
Peter, I'm gonna meet Jenny's cats.
What are you talking about? You hate cats.
I'm going to meet her cats.
Yes, all right, okay, all right. Yeah.
We all know what cat he wants to see. Bad dog, Griffin. But it has to be said, whatever game this pooch is dropping, it seems to be working. We're only halfway through and Brian has bagged himself 9 different nights of passion. And believe me, there's plenty more fish in the sea for him. And for some reason, they're all falling for him. Hook, line, and sinker. Brian is quite the ultimate opportunist, and he gets the chance of a lifetime at Bonnie's birthday party after she realizes that she's kind of wasted the best years of her life.
I don't know. It's just that when I was young, I had so many things I wanted to do with my life. I'm 46, and all I've ever done is take care of Joe.
And after being a shoulder to cry on, Brian sees his chance to ramp things up.
You're a good girl. You're gonna be okay.
Brian immediately regrets what he's done and heads to Peter to break the news in the hope he can keep a secret. But this is Peter Griffin we're talking about.
The other night at your party, Brian kissed Bonnie.
What?
Bonnie, is this true?
Oh my god.
Way to go, Peter. Joe obviously is furious, so to get away from it all, Brian and Bonnie elope together, eventually ending up working at a greasy spoon to pay for their new life. But it's not going so well.
If you could talk with even a little bit of inflection to your voice so it doesn't sound so much like a power sander.
Screw you.
And just as their new life starts falling apart, Joe storms in and picks up the pieces.
I promise I'll spend the rest of my days taking care of you, just the way you've always taken care of me.
Of course I want to come home, Joe. I love you.
But Brian isn't gonna get away without a little shot of karma.
Oh, damn it!
So that's both his next door neighbors that he's upset now. But he's not quite done screwing around with Quagmire, because in the episode Teagues for Two, Brian steals his ex-girlfriend Cheryl.
Well, you know, it's been so many years, and I was in the neighborhood, and I thought I'd just drop by and say hi. My new boyfriend, I guess, knows you and told me where you live.
Hey, Cheryl, get your fat ass over here before I dump you.
He's so bossy. I love it.
To Snagger, Brian's being a bad dog, and it's safe to say it's working. So to fight fire with fire, Quagmire hits up one of Brian's old exes, and it's a biggie.
Here she is.
Jillian?
Hi, Brian. How are you?
As much as it hurts Brian, he tries to not let it show as they all sit down to a double date, but it's not long before things start boiling over.
Enough! Stop it! Both of you!
This is where the girls realize they're being used, so break things off with the both of them.
Maybe you boys will get it together someday, but it looks like that's all you are. Boys.
Yeah, boys. Yay! I helped!
Cheryl, wait! Jillian! I'm sorry. I'll do anything, please!
Maybe stealing each other's girls is what it takes for Brian and Quagmire to become friends. Well, that answers that. Brian takes a break from ruining his neighbors' lives and decides to take up running to impress a girl. I was gonna say at least he's being healthy, but it's not that healthy.
And 1,000. Phew!
1,000 what?
Percent, that's what.
Her name's Chloe, and she agrees to go on a date with him, but instead of a fancy dinner or a few drinks, she wants to run. And Brian, despite being a dog, is no runner.
Wow, this is great, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah, it's awesome. Hey, is your vision also reduced to just a tiny pinhole?
But he soon hits his runner's high and powers through and lands the girl he's been literally chasing.
Oh, Brian, that was incredible.
Yeah, you hump her real good, Brian.
Brian's obsession with Chloe soon fades once he's had his way, and it's replaced with another obsession, running, and I mean, like, really obsessed. You'll see what I mean.
Oh my God! Hey, could you close the gate? Couple of calves got loose. Pow!
Poor Chloe. Imagine being dumped by a guy that has 8 nipples. As we know, Brian loves a good bar to pick up women, and in the episode The Blind Side, he gets invited down to Disabled Women Night at the Clam, and he's drawn to a certain girl named Kate.
Hey, would you like to go out sometime?
Wow, that was fast.
I read somewhere that women decide within the first 7 seconds if they're interested in you or not, so I figured I wouldn't waste anybody's time.
Sure, let's go out.
And this is where we find out why the episode's called The Blind Side. Spoiler alert, it's not about football.
Oh. My God,
Despite the first few initial worries, Brian actually decides he doesn't care about Kate's disability, and the two continue to date until she drops this bombshell.
Ugh, our stupid neighbor's dog barks 24/7. God, I hate dogs.
You do?
Yeah, they're just slobbery, annoying, needy little bastards.
So what does Brian do? Does he come clean? Does he just ghost her? Get angry even? Nah, he just pretends he's not a dog. And as you can imagine, that's kind of tricky when you are one.
Brian, you never told me you had a beard. I love beards.
Yeah, no, hey, I'm bearding it up over here.
I guess he's just gonna have to say he's super hairy or something. Not like he can back out now.
You can see. Why don't you tell me how these look?
They look pretty damn great.
Brian and Kate become an item, so he's got to figure out a way to not blow his cover, especially when her parents come to visit. Then he gets this bright idea.
Hi, you must be Kate. I'm Brian's nurse. He's had a little accident, I'm afraid.
Are you okay?
Oh, don't worry, I'm fine. I'm just sort of bandaged up right now. You must be Kate's parents. It's so nice to meet you.
Don't you just love it when relationships are founded on lies? And just like with any lie, the truth will eventually come out.
I know you hate dogs, and I wanted to tell you. I really did, but I thought if we got to know each other better first, you'd eventually be able to see past it.
See?
Kate obviously breaks up with him and tries to move on with her life. Not like that ever stopped Brian before.
Hey, are you Kate?
Yes?
It's Noah from J-Date.
Oh my God, hi!
Brian decides to focus on his craft after the stuff with Kate and attends a talk by one of his favorite writers at a college campus. There, he meets a young writing student and he just can't help himself.
I guess I should be getting back to my dorm anyway. I've got a short story due for my creative writing class tomorrow.
Well, if you'd like me to look it over before you turn it in, I'd be happy to.
Really?
So he heads to her dorm to grade her paper. I think that's the technical term for it.
I'll print up for you what I have so far.
Okay, I'm gonna go in there with her. You just sit out here and be quiet. Here, watch one of her movies or something.
It's short and sweet, but that's another notch on the Brian Griffin bedpost. Impressing girls any way he can is a big part of Brian's playbook, but usually his attempts are full of lies. However, in Yug Yilamath, he promises a girl that he'll take her back in time, and that's one insane promise he can keep.
I have a time machine.
You do?
You want to see it?
Yes, I want to see it.
Better luck next time, pal. Some people got moves, others don't. Been that way forever.
Well, technically, Brian, you're stealing Stewie's moves. Anyway, he delivers on his promise and takes her to Stewie's room.
Where are we?
Ford's Theater, April 14th, 1865.
Oh, Valentine's Day! How romantic!
Yeah, sure, you know me.
But if this time machine trick works on one girl, surely it'll work on others, right?
The frame is crashing to the ground, not quite to the mooring mast. Oh, the humanity! And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, there's a dog having with a woman.
And if it ain't broke, why fix it?
Whatever you're doing, it's working. You should see the way I have to pick up chicks. Hi.
Brian ends up blowing a hole in the space-time continuum just for a few nights of passion. Luckily, though, he manages to fix things. That doesn't stop him from still being a dirty dog, though. But it's not just him that's dirty, because in Brokeback Swanson, Brian takes his Prius for a hose down to the local car wash, and that's where he meets his next girl.
I'm Tori. I got hit by a car in high school, so I don't have to work.
Hey, so what's your afternoon like?
I don't have plans. Maybe we could grab lunch and then see what happens.
That is a wild opener from Tori, but I guess Brian's a fan of people being forward. Their dinner date goes from one thing to the next, and before you know it, Bri is back at her place.
Wow, that was amazing.
Well, however wild all that was, nothing will prepare you for what happens next.
Oh, crap. My husband's home early.
Wait a minute, you're married? And he's here? Now?
Yeah, that's him. You've got to get out of here. He's really jealous.
He's not just jealous.
Your husband's a Navy SEAL?
What the hell is going on here? What is this?
Tori hides their affair by pretending that Brian is just her new dog that she's bought. It cools down the temper of her husband while also giving her and Brian more time to get busy, and Brian starts pushing the limits.
I think my wife is cheating on me.
Hey, Tori, it's Brian. I'm getting the Chinese food for us. I think I'm gonna order some me-like bang ho. That's not a real thing. I'm talking about... All right, I'll be there in 5.
Brian ends up basically on house arrest thanks to Tori, who flees to her mom's house to get away from it all. And you'll never guess who flies in to help Brian.
Give these kids their dog back.
Of course, sir. I'm so sorry. Here, take him.
Thank you. You're a great American.
He was Vice President Joe Biden back then. Now he's former President Joe Biden. Man, I'm getting old. Speaking of getting old, though, that's exactly the problem for Brian in the episode Married with Cancer. Basically, Brian is trying to grapple with the fact that he's getting a little older now, that the girls in the game aren't as receptive to his advances, so he tries to modernize and be a young gun again.
Because the truth is, you're a selfish horn dog who's getting too old for the game.
I think I've got the lingo of today's lady down pat.
Nothing screams midlife crisis like a frackin' fedora. Well, if you thought that was bad, Brian then goes to a nightclub he's way too old for and try and find the woman of his dreams. That's where he meets Jess.
I'm Jess.
I'm Brian. Well, Jess, bottoms up.
If you're lucky.
And she doesn't waste any time getting to the nitty.
Hey, life's too short, right?
Tell me about it. I've been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
As well as the gritty.
Still want to go back to my place?
Sounds great. Or as young people say, hashtag yes.
Hashtag never say that again. There's a lot to unpack here. The cancer, the how do you do fellow kids slang, and of course the fedora. But it seems to work for Bri. He manages to get another girl over the line.
Whew. That was incredible. Sorry I barked when you took your pants off. I thought it was a squirrel.
Turns out that Jess is a serious freak in the sheets, and since her diagnosis, she's written out a bucket list of all the stuff that she wants to do in the bedroom before she passes, and Brian agrees to help out. But when her illness starts to take hold, Brian does the noble thing and offers to marry Jess so she won't officially die alone.
It would be my honor if you spent the rest of your life as my bride.
Yes!
On their big wedding day, though, Jess gets some overwhelmingly positive news, but it shakes Brian to the core.
These are your latest test results, Jess, and they're remarkable.
Meaning what?
Jess is going to live.
They end up staying together, but Jess starts becoming a totally different person. She packs on the pounds, becomes a crazy cat lady. When Brian sees his chance to get out, he takes it, but not in the way you'd imagine.
Someone, how do you do the Heimlich maneuver? Damn it, I've got one song by Heim on my phone, and every time I try to type Heimlich, it...
I guess Brian wasn't lying, though. He stayed with Jess for the rest of her life. I think Brian should have counted himself lucky with Jess, because the next girl that he sleeps with isn't exactly... just look.
Excuse me.
She's called Amber, and she's a carny, but more than that, boy, is she keen.
But I'll bang you in the porta potty back by the very loud generators.
The one that smells like all different peas mixed together? Hell yes!
I actually think doing it in a porta potty is far better than half the stuff we've seen Brian do today. Yeah, I'm that numb. But it's not just a one-time deal with Amber. Instead, he starts to get a little serious with her and kind of becomes a carny himself.
Brian, have you forgotten my name?
I don't know. I spent the whole afternoon drinking ethanol out of a ladle.
But it's not long before trouble starts brewing and Amber has to pull the plug on someone who clearly isn't up to her speed.
Brian, this here ain't working out. We need to break up.
You're breaking up with me?
Whoa, dumped by a carny. Brutal.
So far on Brian's list, we've had a whole host of women, all different, some old, some young, you get the idea. But they've all got one thing in common. They're all human. But seeing as Brian is a dog, it's only fair to include the only time he slept with one of his own kind, Seabreeze. As well as being a multi-billionaire, Carter is an avid greyhound racing fan, so much so that he's got his own line of dogs in training, and he introduces his best racer, Seabreeze, to Brian.
Isn't she a perfect specimen? I mean, look at these legs and that beautiful coat, and feel the heat coming off of her. You could roast a marshmallow. That's how you can tell she's a champion.
You didn't have to get so weird with it. After meeting her, Brian starts taking a shine to the champion and follows her to the racetrack to watch her strut her stuff, and it's too much for him to bear.
Go, 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 go! What's Brian doing?
Oh my God.
Brian, man, there's no need for that. Ask her out to dinner or something first, at least.
He's violating Seabreeze.
No, he's just awkwardly positioning himself. Now he's violating Seabreeze.
Carter doesn't really care about his dog, though. More so the money she made him. And if Brian's got her pregnant, that means she's got to be off the track for a while.
Look, Mr. Pewterschmidt, I just want you to know I am going to do the right thing here. You're not doing anything. You're never going to see Seabreeze again. Pack your things and get out.
I am never speaking to you again.
Brian drives himself mad because he's not able to see Seabreeze and worries that his pups are going to grow up fatherless. But after a battle in court, he finally gets to be there for the birth, and I'd wager it's not what he expected.
Those aren't my puppies.
Who's that?
You're all...
Still, it doesn't exactly make up for the whole chasing her down part. Makes you wonder how Brian's had any real relationships at all. But he has, and a lot of them. And we see them all in the episode Valentine's Day in Quahog when Stewie rounds them up and brings him to the house to see Brian, hoping they'd tell him where he's been going wrong.
What the hell? These are all my ex-girlfriends.
Well, I thought they could provide some insights that might improve your love life. Ladies, as you may have guessed, you are here because you have all dated this great guy.
There's 27 women in the room from what we can see. There are 11 of the girls we've already covered, meaning there are an extra 16 women in there. And if they're his girlfriends, it's safe to assume that they've slept together, so that takes the tally up to 34. But there are still a few more names to mention, like Holly, who Brian meets at the karaoke bar.
Dan, clap your hands, Dan, clap your hands. Dan, clap your hands, clap your hands. Dan, clap your hands, Dan, clap your hands.
Then there's Brian's long-distance fling with Padma, and he travels halfway across the world to see her.
You're even more beautiful than I imagined.
Well, I have to admit, you two do make a cute couple.
Doesn't last long, though, because Padma breaks up with Brian when she realizes that they're just from two very different parts of the world and have absolutely nothing in common.
You and I have very little in common.
I could learn. I mean, there's got to be an old Carmen Sandiego episode on India or something.
Brian, punt.
Ouch, I think he spent like $8,000 on airplane tickets too. Well, Stewie spends double that in the episode The Marrying Kind when he orders a bride from Ukraine called Zlata, and you know where I'm going with this.
Hey, Stewie.
Brian, what the hell? That's my wife, man. Get off her.
And if you know Stewie, he's not gonna take that lying down. Zlata did.
She show you hers? Those are private parts. We don't touch private parts.
I was joking, Stewie! Please don't trash my car too! Anyway, there's still one other name on the list, and trust me, it's the most Brian Griffin relationship ever.
This is fine. This isn't weird.
I wasn't lying. Basically, Stewie built him a robot so they could help Brian write his autobiography, but yeah, clearly he had other ideas, and just in case you thought they didn't go all the way...
Well, as it happens, your robot has a rear panel sensor. Every time it's triggered, I get a text, like a Google alert.
Hey, still we build super lifelike robots, so I'm 100% counting this one. And that brings the tally up to 38. Hey, he's a dog after all, so technically that would be 273 people. But yeah, 39 isn't anything to be sniffed at, considering they're practically all from a different species. Bad dog. He might be a sleazeball and a womanizer, but Brian Griffin certainly isn't evil. well, as evil as the other characters that I've covered on this channel anyway. Some of them. Okay, why don't you click on the character popping up on the screen right now and judge for yourself. Thanks for watching.